My name is Edward Escobar. I'm the founder of the Alliance for Independent Workers.
Without Uber and Lyft, the city would not move as efficiently as it has been. But we cannot give free rides, people, because the free rides cause the suffering for all of these folks behind me. All of these folks that are being affected. The free rides cost them. It costs them because they have to pay bills. These rides have to be given at a rate that is sustainable. What we want is a sustainable type of corporate model, not this corporate greed, putting corporate greed before people. And that is what they're doing. It's profits before people. It's done time and time again. Uber and Lyft, they need to stop abusing workers and cities. We are calling for that because it's necessary to get results here. This is where all the problems started, people, in San Francisco. Uber and Lyft were not regulated by the SFMTA. They were not regulated by the CPUC, the California Public Utilities Commission. They were let to ride roughshod over society. They were let to do whatever the hell they wanted. It's catching up to us now. And we are paying a price for that. It is something that we got to take care of. And we need all of your help in the public. Because if you think it doesn't affect you, yes it does. Public safety. These people crossing the road right there could get hit by a driver whose work exhaustion is worse than driving drunk. That driver could be very sleepy. And why? Because he has to work more and more, and he's making less and less, and less and less, and he's working more and more. These hours that they had in terms of limitations, it's not adequate. Why? Because it's not being enforced. At the same time, with limited hours, we should also get an increase in the amount of money we get. What's happening is drivers are working more and more hours because they have to make a certain amount of money in order to survive. People ask, oh, drivers must be making a good living. No, we're barely making a surviving, if that. That's how bad it is, and it's getting worse. So we do need to stand up together. The drivers here that are suffering, the drivers here that are calling to have their voices heard. Uber and Lyft, they don't listen. They don't listen because they feel they don't have to. Just like riders. When riders want Uber and Lyft to listen, they don't even listen to them. People say, oh, they care about riders more than drivers. Actually, the truth is, they don't care about either one. What they care about are their venture capitalist investors. That's who they care about. The venture capitalist investors, those are the VCs. Those are the ones putting the billions of dollars that are enabling this corporate abuse of society. San Francisco, it's happening in New York, it's happening in many major cities, in Chicago, Los Angeles, Dallas, Miami, Boston, Philadelphia. It's happening all over the nation.
So the Alliance is calling for a cap.
Yes.
What's the number of vehicles that you want imposed in
We
the
want
cap?
it to be capped where it's at.
Okay.
Okay, so we're not eliminating any drivers. We're leaving it where it's at. We're not adding any new drivers. No new drivers, no new cars. By attrition, it'll start to find its
Equilibrium.
its equilibrium, correct.
It's their service fee, but there's no transparency in what that service fee is. So when we look at our breakdowns, they show how much we get paid per mile and per minute, with like a booking fee as well. But with theirs, it just says booking fee and service fee. So it doesn't. Sometimes that service fee is so high, you're like, well, why? we don't know why. That we don't have any transparency in that. And it's messed up that Uber takes such a large chunk sometimes. Like, I've seen drivers posting their fares, and it's the rider pays like $100 and Uber takes like $70 of that, and you made $30 for that ride. It's just unfair.
Yeah. I mean, literally, after Uber started testing their own self-driving cars, which they only got that technology because they probably had someone steal it from Google. Basically, the government told Uber, you don't have the simple permission. It would have taken like a one-page form for them to do it, and Uber gave the finger to the government. But let me tell you something. There's one government department that you do not fuck with, and that is the DMV. When they gave the government, the people like Dennis Herrera, the guy who's the Attorney General for the city of San Francisco, when Uber said, fuck you, we're gonna keep doing what we want, the DMV said, boom, they pulled the registration, and all of these cars were doing their shit, running over women and killing them because the driver behind the automated vehicle was watching a show on Netflix. A lot of those people that thought maybe that they had secure jobs with good benefits because they were working for the federal government suddenly found themselves without a paycheck on Friday. Like, come on, can you imagine? Like, there was a recent study that was done just recently that was released that said that almost 80% of all Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, I'm sorry, but if I were a federal employee right now who was being furloughed and didn't get a paycheck when I was expecting one, and I am someone who lives paycheck to paycheck, so guess what? That IOU from the turd administration doesn't pay rent and it doesn't buy food. So you need money quick, you're gonna jump on this gig economy teat, but there's already too many of us. That's why cabs were regulated. Now, they were over-regulated and there weren't nearly enough cab drivers, but because there is zero regulation with these TNC companies, there is too many. And they're taking advantage of the fact that there is always going to be someone who is going to be willing to work for less. No matter how low it goes, there's always going to be someone who's desperate enough. I don't have a spouse, I don't have any children, but I know a lot of drivers do. The drivers are driving in 3 hours from the central San Joaquin Valley, where I'm a son of Madera, California. It's this small little nowhere cow town. I've just always been a vocal person, but I feel like I need to be extra vocal in this particular case because of this. I have the luxury of being able to speak out this way. I have a job during the day that pays me well, that gives me benefits. I do this on the side for a little bit extra because living in San Francisco is extremely, extremely expensive. I've lived here for 21 years this month. The chances of me ever owning property here are zero. Almost to zero. I mean, Uber drivers are literally pissing in bottles and having to throw them out the window when they're full. They can't find bathrooms.
That's right.
But you know, all those workers over there at 1455 Market, I think they probably can use the bathroom whenever they want. And I think Dara's new house has about 8 bathrooms. Maybe we can stop by his house at 3090 Pacific Avenue and use one of them.
That's not a bad idea.
You know, I question whether or not I should give my full name, but here's something that I want all the drivers to know about Uber. My name is Michael Martinez, which is the Mexican equivalent of John Smith, so good luck looking me up. Let me tell you something about Uber. I know a lot of the drivers are very concerned about being too vocal because they are genuinely afraid, with good reason, that they might be deactivated in retaliation. Well, it doesn't matter if we're contract workers or not. Retaliatory action against workers in general is not going to hold up very well in court. As a matter of fact, contractors or not, the state of California has already set a precedent more than once that Uber drivers that were deactivated were able to collect unemployment.
Good information because they have been doing it. They have been retaliating against a lot of our drivers, and that's one of the reasons we are here. We've been hearing a lot of stories about the deactivations. They give you no reason whatsoever. They just deactivate you. In the middle of, one time I was on the way to, I had 2 passengers, and on the way to drop them off. In the middle of the trip, they deactivated my account because someone said that I maybe was drunk or something. They didn't know that it was something. They noticed something. But you know that a lot of those writers make up stories and say whatever they want. And who are they going to believe? The writers. We have zero support from Lyft and Uber, and we are tired and sick of it. And that's why we are here.
They shut down my Uber account because they said I use another vehicle. I told them, give me proof. I use another vehicle. They said we didn't have, but the customer complained about you and they shut it down right away. No, for no reason. No full proof, nothing. It's not fair, huh?
If a customer calls Uber and they shut you down,
Yeah,
does
right
the
away.
customer get a free ride?
Yeah, because you want to get a free ride only. I shut down my Uber account. Right now I don't have any job.
Any dishonest passenger trying to save themselves the $5 that it costs them for the trip can easily just say, I think my driver was under the influence.
That's exactly what happened.
You know, they can say whatever. They can say, oh, my driver hit on me. Now, unless every single driver is then going to invest the money in order to get a dash cam with not just video but audio as well, there might not be any recourse for you. And so this person who's purposely lying in order to save $5 may be endangering the income of someone where that's their only job, and they're not just supporting themselves, they have families.
Yeah, they have no conscience a lot, and it's so common, more than people think. It is very common, and a lot of my fellow drivers have been deactivated. So I'm guessing they're breaking the law for retaliation only because they want to speak up and they want to defend themselves. And that is wrong. That is very, very wrong.